name is Patrick Bitature. Here I am again, talking a bit more about character in the series Built to Last, businesses that are built to last. Today I want to talk about the people who influenced my character. What made me me? What did they do that made me see life differently and changed me? Well, I can't say I've had very many mentors, but the ones that really stand out happen to be the Indian businessmen in Uganda. I went to school in Uganda, and I went to UK, and I came back, and I thought I'd learned everything from academics, whatever the academic world could teach me, until I started doing business. Then I realized the real world is very different from the academic world. And one of my best mentors was a gentleman called Mzee Mukwano, closely followed by a gentleman called Karim Hiriji, and also Sudhir Raparelia. These three men played a key part of changing my life, in changing my perspective of life, understanding business, how to deal with people, how to deal with money. They had another language altogether, and not just that they could speak Indian and speak Luganda. Nearly all of them had understanding of our local languages, but the way they applied their mind. I spent quite a bit of time listening to the old man, Mzee Mukwano, may his soul rest in peace. He was a wonderful man. He took a liking to me and would always take time to explain to me, and slowly. Then we started building a relationship, and he tells me, take me somewhere. So he'd get in my car, and I drive. And I'm driving quickly. He tells me, slow down, don't rush, take it easy. Why do you rush? We've arrived where we are going. And I wouldn't understand when he says we've arrived where we're going. We've still got a long way to go. He says, I've arrived, we've accomplished so much in life, so take it easy. You'll still get there, remain on the objective. Because when you're driving, some people are trying to walk across the road, pedestrians. You're hooting them, get out of the way, because I'm driving Mukwano. No, stop, let them pass. You know where you're going, stick to it. And that taught me to pace myself. In life, if you know where you're going, don't be caught up by the people who come rushing, whether it's a border or whatever. Let them be. Stick to what you wanted to do. Achieve your goals. Don't be caught up in the hustle and bustle. And from him, we'd spend a lot of time. He'd eat cassava, dry cassava and black tea, and we'd share that cassava. And he's telling you a story of what he went through, and the pains and the adversity and the challenges, especially when the Asians were expelled. He remained here, the opportunities that were abundant, and he was a truck driver. But how he grew to become a multimillionaire. I would look at him in awe, and he had so much humility, an amazing man. Karim Hiriji, he had a shop on Dembe Street. That shop, the name Dembe was a household name. He was thought of as the richest man at the time. He was dealing textiles, but he'd open the shop at 7 o'clock every morning. Before 7 he's there, but the shop is open to customers, and there's a queue of customers from 7 o'clock to 4:30, and then he closes the shop and goes with the keys. But that man would handle everybody with grace, with a smile. He knew everybody's name, he knew their accounts, who he's given credit, how he writes things down. He was an amazing man. A brilliant mind. A mind that was like, wow, he must have 2 or 3 PhDs. I looked at him in awe. And he'd stand at the counter all day. He wouldn't sit down, standing at the counter to serve his customers. He had several assistants below, but he controlled all the money. And he just had a piece of paper, your name, he writes how much the meters are, and he puts it in a box. That was his filing system. But he'd remember nearly everything. And I would wonder, how can you remember all this? He says it's practice. You can do it. Train yourself every day. You'll relate, especially numbers. If you apply your mind to remembering numbers, you will not forget them. And I started doing that. And it was amazing, because your brain has got so much elasticity. We just never stretch it. He could stretch his brain, and his was incredible. Then he started construction, and I saw this man learn about construction, and I would follow him as a friend, going around to build a hotel, this first hotel, to build a house. He takes the measurements, he took an interest in everything. He became the engineer, the architect, the designer. It was amazing to see this man grow. It inspired me. I could build too like this one day. I took an interest in talking to the foreman, talking to the workman, the lowest workman, the mason, the plumber, the electrician, knowing everything about a building. And in a few years, I became an authority on my own. From moving from houses, I said I can build a hotel. I built one hotel, I said I can build a bigger hotel. He did it, why can't I? And whenever I wanted to consult, I would ask him, well, how do you go about this? How do you deal with the money? Aren't I taking too big a risk? I'm a bit scared. You could always relate to him and see how he jumps in. When he analyzes something, he goes in with both feet and is completely committed. That's how you've got to do it. You don't look back. You don't have a plan B. It's got to be this plan. It's got to be your goal. And I learned so much from this amazing man. Now, the other gentleman I talked about was Mr. Sudiro Parelia. We began together. When he came, he didn't have that much money, but he had a bit of money. But he had a different style of doing business, and different from Karim and different from Mukwano. And he was dealing in foreign exchange. That's how we began working together. Done some foreign exchange. He started running accounts and businesses, and he has a simple book, who he gives money, who he gives credit, and he ran a banking system out of a foreign exchange. By the time he was licensed to run a bank, it was incredible. So much stuff he had built and so much capacity he had built. Of course, we know the story. Some people say, oh, he lost the bank. But by the time he lost his bank, this man had changed the lives of so many Ugandans. He had built so many businesses, businesses that would never have access to capital without this man being where he was. And as soon as that bank was closed, we went back to the conventional banks, and it's been extremely difficult for so many ordinary people who don't have the criteria that is strictly followed to succeed. And I don't think it's because those people didn't follow the criteria, or Sudiro didn't follow the criteria, that his bank went down. Sure, he must have made some mistakes, and the bank grew too big. It grew so fast. And maybe the human resource, the controls, the governance, the structure had some gaps. And that's what came back to bite him. But he grew from 0 to 100 at an incredible speed, and is an incredible man. With a brain, he kept learning. I saw him grow, and he was principled. You need to have principles, and you stand for your principles. Some people will not like you, some will like you. And that's how he lived his life. But he has touched the lives of so many people and helped our country grow. So, you choose your mentor. Look for somebody who you can look up to. See what they're doing well, and see what you can learn from them. And you start trying, and go up the ladder bit by bit. Don't jump those steps. They are vital that you go bit by bit. Sometimes you may make a small mistake, correct it, and keep building. You will reach your dreams, you will reach your objectives. Thank you very much. Hello, my name is Patrick Bitature. I'd like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on the social media platforms. I'm going to be doing a series on businesses that are built to last. That's an easy thing to say, it's not an easy thing to do. Let's walk this walk together, and I try to guide you so that you can build businesses that will last. Hopefully, intergenerational businesses.